The subject matter in the following segment is controversial in nature. Methstake, a crosstalk mini-series on meth addiction. The names, identities, and voices of some individuals have been changed. Please use discretion when listening to the following segment. This is Methstakes, a crosstalk mini-series. I'm Ben Bleck, your host. We take a look at meth from the eyes of a meth user and try and paint the picture for people who don't understand the addiction and want to help with the addiction. And we're joined on this segment of the program by an individual we will call Wayne here this morning, requesting a condition of anonymity, which obviously is a big part of why we're very grateful that all of these individuals are doing it. Thank you so much for being willing to talk with us today.
You're welcome, man.
Tell me a little bit about your story, about your drug use, and especially about meth use. What got you into it?
Well, man, that's a big question. I started using meth after my divorce. I think mainly because just having some issues with getting divorced and losing a family and stuff, and it started out as just a way to go out and mingle and have some fun and be able to stay up and party, and it was all fun and games for a while, and 15 years later, it ain't no more fun and games, and it's a fight every day to try to stay away from it. It went from lots of fun to totally being the most lonely person in the world I've ever been. I mean, it took my life away within a blink of an eye.
You have been sober for how long?
Going on my last relapses, I've been sober for about 4 months.
The first time you decided to get sober, what was the thought process? What happened to make you want to get sober?
The first time and second time both. I basically lost everything I've ever worked for in my life. I lost a home, I lost everything. When you go from having a job and a life and having fun to being in a house that's being taken back by the bank with no electricity in it, no food in the refrigerator, haven't seen your kids for months because you can't stand to have them see you in that shape, and it just goes from one extreme to the next within just, it seems like an instant. I mean, you go from having fun to having nothing, and that's kind of where I ended up. I ended up in a home that the bank was taking back. Had 6 days, I think, to get my stuff and get out. No food in my refrigerator, electricity been shut off, the water been shut off, and just kind of ran out of money and ran out of means to get the methamphetamines, and sobered up and looked around and realized where I was at.
You obviously have tried and had 3 relapses, so there's obviously been a decision or an addiction to go back. Tell me a little bit about that. Why go back after being in that situation?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's, to me, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about it, but there was, at the start, an extreme amount of fun about it. I mean, it doesn't start out at the bad spot. It just ends up there, and it ends up there for everybody. I mean, I have not seen anybody that has ended up on a different road than what I ended up on this stuff. And so I think when you try to quit and you start cleaning that plate full of garbage that you've collected over however many years you've been using it, you run into stumbles and blocks and times that are frustrating, and you just don't know if you can handle it. And I think that addict in you, once you have that drug in your system, there's something that always makes you think that fun time is still there. And when you get down and out and you just think you can't do it no more, for some reason you forget about how bad it was, and you think that fun time's right there. It's only a puff away. All I gotta do is just go get just a little meth, and it's not. I mean, for me, it's not. It's no fun. It hasn't been fun, and luckily my relapses each time has been further apart and shorter in duration, because every time I've done it, every time I've relapsed, I didn't start at the fun again. I started right where I left off, at just being the loneliest, miserable person that I could be, not wanting to be around my friends, my family, not wanting to be in the go around and having fun mood. But it just seems like it always draws me back in, because I think that it's going to be fun again. You know, we're going to have a good time this time. And
We're talking on our mini-series called Methstakes, a crosstalk mini-series about meth, and you talk about going back and getting high. What is it like to be high? Walk me through that, and walk our listeners through that. For people that have never been high, what is it like to be high?
for me, the fun part of it was going out and partying. You know, normally you have 5, 6 beers, get tired, 10:30 rolls around, you know, you're just about wore out, and you're ready to go home. Meth took that tiredness away. I mean, it gave me the ability to stay out till 2, 3 in the morning, drink as much as I wanted, never feel drunk. I mean, and the sensation of being just, I don't know, just unstoppable. It almost Supermanish. Like, I mean, there's nothing that's going to slow you down. There's nothing you can't do. There's, you know, work all day long, party all night long. You know, it is an amazing feeling. And if they could make a drug that could make you feel like that wasn't destroyous like methamphetamine is, it would be an amazing thing, and people would realize what that feeling is like, because it truly does. It's almost unhuman. I mean, it's almost superhuman feeling, and that's hard to describe, and people look at you and think there's no way that something can make you feel that awesome, but it truly does. I mean, at the beginning, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling.
But you've always ended up right back in at the low.
Always ended up with absolutely nothing. Absolutely not even being able to look at myself in the mirror, you know. And everybody I've ever been around with that's on it ends up in that exact same road at that exact same point. There's never, ever been a person that has been on meth that I know of that has escaped that end point. Everybody ends up there.
Everybody ends up there, but you still hear people saying, "Oh, I can control it."
Right. Yeah. And for a while, people may feel like they are. You know, they still can maybe go to work every day and you know, function as a person and keep everybody convinced that they're okay. But eventually, it takes more and more of the drug to keep you at that level, and it gets to the point where you take so much of the drug that just to maintain a normal life, it destroys you. You can't live life on it. There's just no way.
But getting off it, you can get back to living life again. You've come back and you've sobered up. Tell me about your sober up process. It's obviously taken a support system around you.
Absolutely. I mean, and my biggest support has been Sunny Stamps at Sunrise Recovery. I mean, she's been through every step for the last 3 years of my life. I mean, she has helped me through the lowest times of my life, and even helped me through the good times of my life. I mean, because, another thing hard to explain, but meth don't just rear its ugly head when it's low times of your life. There can be times when everything's going great. I mean, I feel everything's going so good, you know, I just feel like going out, and it tricks you. And go out and get high again. And then, you know, so it's been a long process. I got a long ways to go. It'll be a daily fight till the day I die. But being around people that can help you try to, I guess, live life on life's terms and take the blows of life and take them and turn around and stand back up and get ready to take the blows as they come again, and not let them knock you down and just feel like you have no alternative but to go get high. And, you know, it's just, I have children, and meth, I know they love me still, but I think I've got a lot of work to do to get their respect back. Um, some of my children are old enough to know what Dad's been up to, and because you can't hide it. I mean, so I've hurt a lot of people, a lot of loved ones in my life. I've hurt my loved ones more than any other any other group of people in my life. They've suffered the worst. Parents, children, brothers. Um, so it's been hard. Luckily, I got a family that has been pretty supportive of me, and I got some great kids, and they're giving me the opportunity to make things up to them and try to right the wrongs that I've done, and it's been a long process, and I'm not close to being done. I don't think I'll ever be done. I think meth will be part of my life till the day I die, fighting it and staying away from it. It's an evil. It's an evil that's in me, and I don't think I can ever get rid of it.
But you have the family, you have the job, you have the desire, and that's the most important thing anybody recovering.
Absolutely. I mean, people try to get people to sober up one way or another way or whatever, but nobody's going to sober up until they hit that ultimate time when they sober up and look around them and realize that they have nothing left in their life that they enjoyed at one time, that they loved at one time, that they cherished at one time, because ultimately this drug will take it all away. I mean, it will leave you a lonely, broken man, a lonely, broken woman with nothing, not even no self-respect. Yeah, it takes your morals and your values and whatever your lines are, highs and lows that you would never cross as a normal person, and then it explodes them. You have no morals and values no more. You will wake up in the morning and realize that you've done something the night before that you would have never done as a normal, straight, sober human being. And meth, it destroys you. It destroys you from the inside out, and not only physically but mentally. And I truly believe it is an evil drug. I think it has. I've seen it break families up. I've seen it make moms leave their kids. I've seen it, dads leave their families. I've seen it make kids steal from their parents. It's a terrible, terrible drug.